Hi guys, welcome back to your second video for today. I am on page 242 in your math books. So get to page 242. I'm also going to do some more of division problems with you guys, but I'm going to do the problems in my notebook because they don't give you a ton of space here, and division sometimes takes a lot of work and a lot of space. So I'm going to use my notebook, so I'm going to have that handy. So you might want to get your notebook out too, or a piece of paper to practice working on some problems. So what we talked about when dividing is we have to have a whole number as the divisor. So this number, the first number, is the dividend. I'm going to write that inside the box, and then my divisor goes outside the box. And now we have to have a whole number as my divisor, so I move the decimal point once to the right. However many times I move it here, I move the same amount of times in the dividend. And then so it's between the 6 and the 9, it pops up. Some students will be confused and they'll just move it all the way to the end because we moved it to the end in the divisor. But you have to move it the same amount of spaces as you did in the divisor. So try not to make that mistake. So I have my notebook out here. I'm going to rewrite this problem now that I have moved the decimal point correctly. And this is what I have. Okay, so I moved it. Here's my new problem. 36 9/10 divided by 3. So bring the decimal point straight up. And now we divide like normal. And you watched a video yesterday, an ed puzzle video about long division. If you needed a review, you can watch that. Again, 3 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract, you get 0. Then bring down the 6. Now 3 can go into 6 twice. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract 0. Bring down the 9. 3 can go into 9 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract 0. I have no more numbers to bring down, and I have a 0, so my quotient is 12 3/10. So in my book, I'm going to write that as 12 3/10. Again, pause the video as needed. If you need a little extra time or need to rewatch something, go ahead and do that. That's a perk of having videos. You can pause it as needed or rewatch it too. Or maybe your brother or sister is bothering you, you can pause it and go in another room. All right, so I'm going to rewrite this problem underneath. Again, the divisor is the second number. The dividend is the one that is presented first. Okay, we want to get this 1.3 to be 13, so we move the decimal once to the right, and whatever I do to the outside number, I do to the inside number. Okay, now I'm going to rewrite it in my math notebook, because as you can see, I don't have enough space. That's just not even close to being enough space. So I'm going to rewrite it. You guys can do the same thing. Here we go. So I have 338 thousandths divided by 13. So my decimal point goes up to the top. All right, now I divide like normal. Can 13 go into 0? No. Can 13 go into 3? No. Can 13 go into 33? Yes, it can. How many times can 13 go into 33? Think about it. Pretty sure it is only 2 times. Oops. Hitting the camera. Sorry, it's so crooked. So 13 times 2 is 26. Subtract. Can I take 6 from 3? Nope, I gotta borrow from the 3. That becomes a 2. This is now a 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. 2 minus 2 is nothing. Okay, so now I bring down the next number, which is 8. So now it's 78. 13 times what is 78? Well, I don't know that off the top of my head, so I'm just going to try 13 times 5. That may be too big. We will see. No, it's maybe actually too small. So let me try 13 times 6. Ah, look at that. It is exactly 78. All right, so here is my quotient, 26 thousandths. So I'm going to write that in my book. 0 and 26 thousandths. Remember, quotient is the answer to a division problem. Okay, next one. 2 and 7 tenths goes outside the box. 2 and 943 thousandths goes inside the box. But we want to make this to be a whole number. So we're going to move the decimal point once to the right, and I do the same thing on the inside, and it floats to the top. So now back in my notebook, I'm going to write this problem out. 27 is the outside number, and 29 and 43 hundredths is the inside number. So here's number 3. What do we do with that decimal point? You have to make sure it floats to the top. So right here is where it's going to go. All right. 27. I don't know my multiples of 27, so I'll probably have to do a little work off to the side, and that's fine. 27 goes into 29. I can do that one time. 1 times 27 is 27. Then I subtract. 9 minus 7 is 2. 0 would be 2 minus 2 would be 0. So I bring down 4. Can 27 go into 24? No. So I actually have to put a 0 on my quotient. And then I can technically would have to do 27 times 0 is 0, subtract, I get 24 again, then bring down the 3. Some people omit that step, but we will just put it in there to be proper. 27 times a number equals 270 or 243. Well, I know 27 times 10 is 270, so it's got to be less than 10. I'm going to try 8. 7 times 8 is 56. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 5 is 21. I bet I could get a little closer. So I'm going to do 27 times 9. That's 63. Oh, there we go, 243. So 27 goes into 243 9 times. Exactly, subtract 0. So my quotient is 1 and 9 hundredths. So I'm going to rewrite that on my book. There we go. All right, now we're going to do a story problem. Alicia bought 5 and 75 yards of fleece fabric to make blankets for charity. I'm going to highlight that. She needs 1 and 85 hundredths yards of fabric for each blanket. How many blankets can Alicia make with the fabric she bought? So she already bought this amount, but each blanket she's planning on making takes this amount. So I need to know how many times 1 and 85 hundredths goes into 5 and 75 hundredths. So that would be a division problem. It would be 5 and 75 hundredths inside the box, 1 and 85 hundredths outside the box. So I'm just going to set up my problem there, but I'm going to do the work in my notebook again because I don't have enough space. I seem to have lost my blue pen. Oh, it fell on the floor. Okay, I'm going to do number 4 right here. But before I do that, we have to move the decimal point to make this 185 and move it twice. And do the same thing there. All right, cool. So now here's my problem. 185 goes outside the division box, and 575 goes inside. Do you know your multiples of 185? I didn't think so. I don't know my multiples for 185, but I'm going to do a little guess and check. I'm going to say, well, let's see. What is 185 times 4 equal? That's 20. 32 plus 2 is 34. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, that's too high. So that won't work. Let's do 185 times 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 8 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. Carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. Okay, I bet I can't get any closer. So I'm going to put 3 here. And I'm going to do 555 here because 185 times 3 is 555. And I'm going to subtract. Now I know my decimal point is here because I moved it right here. So it should be behind the 5. Now, I'm not done though. I can have 0 in my dividend and bring it down. Now, how many times does 185 go into 200? Well, that's just once. And subtract. I'm technically not done, but let's think about this problem. Want to know how many blankets she can make? Well, if this is my quotient, how many blankets could she make? She probably would have a little left over. So she can make about 3 blankets, and she's going to have a little bit left over. So let's write that out. Alicia can make 3 blankets with a little extra left over. All right, pause the video and write down that sentence. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to work on page 243 in your book, and you're going to work on the evens. So they don't give you a ton of space, so again, you might want to show your work on a piece of paper like this in your notebook so it's not crammed, and you don't have to, so you don't make a mistake and you can see what you're writing down. And then after that, you can work on any BuzzMath lessons you have yet to finish, and let us know if you have a question. Miss O, Mrs. Schaefer, Mr. Jordan, or myself will be available on a Google Meet from 8 to 9. So let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.